Hello, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Booth. I am your host, Dan the Law, and we are here with a special guest tonight. So I guess let's just jump on right into it.
It's gonna look awesome when Chris does it.
Bang. I want to make some
That beat jam in the beat. I like these bands sweet. Frequency rock street. We make money again a week.
That makes me look really cool.
Chris Romrell. that does make you look cool. I was able to find some cool little videos and put them together. It was great. So, hey, welcome to Inside the Booth.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming
problem.
to this little tiny show.
I love it.
Cool. One video I didn't play. Let me play it real quick.
Spectacular stunt, my friends, but all for naught. Turn around, please. Ah, what a pity. What a pity. So, Princess, you thought you could outwit the imperious forces? You idiots! These are not them. You've captured their stunt doubles!
I'm going to use that for my next reel. I'm using that sound clip.
So everybody, this is Chris Romrell. He is a stunt double for Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, and a bunch of other people too. Thank you again for being here. I know.
Thanks again for having me. Yeah, I do want to clarify. I have doubled for Chris Hemsworth, but he does have another double named Bobby who's spectacular.
Yes. I did see that. But in the reel when you did that slide for him, that was cool. So even though it wasn't that big of a, I don't know, I guess, were you, I guess let me just ask, were you like doing a lot of his stunts at Chris Hemsworth's for that Thor movie, or we just did a few and then the other guy did more?
So that was for Avengers Endgame. And
okay.
Bobby travels with Chris Hemsworth and does all his movies. But at that point in filming, I mean, it was really hard to get all those actors together in one room anyway, because there's a lot of them. And they're all superstars, and they're all filming different things at different times. And Hemsworth went off and did Men in Black 3, and Bobby went with him. And so during that period of time, it was during reshoots on Endgame, they needed different things of Fat Thor, and so I have the perfect build for that. And I got to do a lot of those things.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's fun. Very cool. Well, let's say hello to a couple people in the chat. We got my Uncle Mike is here. My brother's
What's up, Mike?
Here. My brother David's here. What's up, brother Dave?
What's
Uncle
up?
Mike. And then we got Love It Ever After. What's up, Love It? She does help us out here sometimes on the show and comes and helps us out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I got a few people who do that.
That's good.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been what's it been? Almost 3 years.
No way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Doing this, yep. But this is the first time I took a break though. This year was during the August month. I was like, I'm taking a break. I don't want to be on, So this is the start of coming back with you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. No, thanks for being here. This is great. So what inspired you to be a stunt double? I mean, how did you get to that point where you got to be a stuntman?
I got lucky a million different ways, but I grew up terrible at school. I really loved acting, and I got into karate because I watched Dragon Ball Z. And in my town, I grew up in American Fork, Utah. I called around to any place that was teaching either Shaolin Kung Fu or ninjutsu. And there was a karate studio that happened to answer the phone. I said, "Hey, do you guys do Shaolin Kung Fu or ninjutsu?" And they said, "Yeah, we teach we teach all the forms." And I was like, "All right, great, that's the one." And I happened to meet some of my best friends there, and we started basically worshiping Jackie Chan, making our own little fight scenes, and from there just kind of grew and grew, and it was just an obsession that stuck with us for forever, to basically just follow Jackie Chan's career path to the stuntman filmmaker.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. And as you say that, you are an inspiring filmmaker yourself now. Do you have any projects that are going to be coming up soon?
Yeah, I just directed a short here. It's a 12-page script. Pretty ambitious, and I think we did a really good job. It's editing. We're editing it right now, and I think in probably a month or so that'll be out. And I need to shout out Jason Edwards, who was my executive producer on that, and pulled together an incredible team for us. And me as kind of a first-time director of something that big, there was a lot of crew, and we just filmed it at my house. Nice. It was really helpful to have all these really experienced people making me look great. And so shout out to Jason Edwards and the whole crew.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. That's cool. That's cool. You're moving up in the world. You're not going to be just a stuntman. You are going to be like Jackie Chan, an actor, doing your own stunts. Who else does that? Tom Cruise also does his own.
Tom Cruise is also an incredible film. You know what I find is a lot of these A-list actors and actresses are also incredible filmmakers themselves, whether they're actually directing or not. They know the camera. They know what sounds good, what looks good, what lighting looks good. Like they're very aware of everything going on, and they will make sure that everything is working in the favor of the film. And that's why Tom Cruise movies are so successful, because he knows what works, and he puts in the work to make it happen.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's real good. Yeah, Tom Cruise is old too. Like a lot of the action stars back when he was starting out, they don't do as much as he does.
He's got dedication like no one I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I have not seen the Mission Impossible movie yet. Have you? Have you seen that?
I have. Yeah.
But it looks cool. Especially the motorcycle jump. I was like, man, I got to see
a good job on that.
I know I think it's playing on one of the streams now. I don't remember which one. Anyways, but yeah. So I get, yes, you know what? So you said you started your journey off with karate.
Yeah.
And so how did you start liking movies? I mean, how did you want to, like, what made you say, I would like to do that? I guess. What was it? A certain movie, a certain maybe behind the scenes stuff? What was it?
That's a great question. I think it probably was the Steven Spielberg movies of like Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park. I just think that he has a timeless quality to his films, and the way that he tells the story with camera and how lived in the environments feel. I don't know. I mean, you don't think about these things as a kid, but it had a big impact on me just watching Jurassic Park and Indiana Jones. And I wanted to make that kind of stuff with my friends. And I started, and I didn't know what I was doing. We didn't know what we were doing. I look at some of these videos now, and they will never see the light of day because my voice hadn't dropped yet. I'm squeaking like, and shouting at each other. We're like squirting ketchup on the walls for like these blood hits or something.
Right.
but yeah, I was just really inspired by those things. And then getting into karate and meeting some of my other friends, their passion was filmmaking as well, and also martial arts. And we started looking at these Jackie Chan films. I mean, we were so obsessed. We started ordering the VCDs. They're not even like Blu-rays or DVDs, from China, and playing these things like frame by frame. I mean, it was VHS before that. Trying to get a VHS player that could play frame by frame, and just watching when they edited, or how they did some of the stunts, and trying to break it all down.
Nice.
We're kind of obsessed.
Sounds good. Levitt says being a stuntman is no easy feat. Props to you, Chris.
Oh, thanks, love it. And
then also the walls of Post-it notes is something else. Oh,
that's my murder wall. No, I'm writing a script, and that's kind of how I try to keep it together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. No, hey, that's cool. That's cool. Everybody does it differently. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's true. There's probably people that do it way better.
Nah, yeah, well, I don't know. They got AI now that helps people, don't they?
I mean, I haven't seen it done well yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah. That's for sure. Because AI can do some stories pretty good, but not like long form stories like a script or anything.
I think the thing I find with AI right now is that it's just derivative. I mean, it's Hollywood right now. That's all they're doing is just rehashing stuff over and over and over again. But
right,
and that's kind of like every story's been told, but we need to, we need to progress our storytelling just a little bit. And I think that AI right now, it is just so either too random, where it's almost a comedy script by accident, because it's just off the wall, or
right.
It's so derivative, it's boring.
Yeah.
So I don't think it quite does the job just yet.
Yeah. And isn't that one reason why they're doing the strike though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, it's around the corner, and
it is.
And I don't think that, studio execs realize that all of our jobs are replaceable. And if we don't protect people, then what's the point? Do you want to have your favorite movie written by a robot? I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, if it's good,
does a robot know how you feel?
Right.
Is there something cathartic in that? Of like,
right.
Hey, there's other people out there that feel this way, and they made a whole movie about it. I don't know.
That'd be great. That'd be funny. Yeah, you know what? I say this: if it's a good story, then sure, why not?
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, in our opinion here at Inside the Booth, we've been realizing, at least this year or last year as well, stories have been kind of going downhill. They don't seem to care about the story as much sometimes. And it's like, why even do it then? Because like Disney, they've been losing lots of money.
Well, they keep sucks. And I'm not in those meetings. I'm not that high up, but it's a kind of a level of corporatism, right? They're no longer trusting the artists. They're hiring artists, these great writers, because everybody that works on these movies, they're really great at what they do.
I'm sure.
But then, you produce a stinker, and it's no one person's fault. It's just this conglomerate organization. Some algorithm says, hey, what's really popular right now? Rihanna, game or movies based on board games, and I don't know, techno music, and they're like, write us something like that, and that's how you get movies like Battleship, right? And so they're writing these movies with hopes of chasing a profit, because something else in that arena has already made a lot of money, but they're always just chasing the dragon. They're not trying to make something new. They're trying to make something safe that gets a return on their investment. And in so doing, they're funding these giant stinkers, you know?
Yeah.
And what they really need to do, and I think right now we're going through a renaissance, and I think we're going to see a rise in independent filmmaking, and I think it's going to be kind of like the 70s over again, where you have these new filmmakers coming in and pushing the envelope and getting the people new things that actually get them excited to go to theaters.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Definitely, I'm with you on that one. I've been seeing it too. Josh Putney says, when they have those meetings, you're probably being busy on fire or something such trivial thing like that.
Oh man, I wish that was most of my job. Just being on fire all the time. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. They really don't do that much anymore, do they? The fire thing.
They do. It's just I mean, it's movie dependent, right? And
right.
I think a lot of times stunts is some of the first things to get cut because we're kind of expensive. Insurance wise and safety wise, it makes sense if you're an executive in a big room saying, well, you'll know what story is king, because they heard that term somewhere, so they may think it makes them sound smart. And they think that, if we just serve the story, we can cut all this action out. And so action sometimes, like, we do this all the time, there's a full day set aside for action, a big fight scene. And the actors have been training for it. We've been training for it. We've been working with camera and the director. And then throughout the day, they're filming the dialogue scene leading up to it. And then, we'll get to you after lunch. And then the final hour of the day, if you've ever shot anything, an hour is nothing. They're like, all right, we're going to do the whole fight scene in a oneer. And that's just not how fights should be shot, most of them. I mean, unless they were planned that way, they just should not be done that way. And so that's why you get a lot of lackluster action scenes, and they cut it out. So we're kind of often the first to get cut. Cutting the fat.
They should do it the opposite. They should do the opposite way.
That's the Michael Bay method. Yeah, exactly. Less more explosions.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what people like to see these days.
He seems to understand. Well, the action nobody cares about the action unless the story is good, unless the action serves the story. The Matrix is a great example of that. The action is incredible, but it also serves the story. Yeah. And that's why that whole movie is watchable. I love Jackie Chan, but his action sequences, basically you just fast forward the movie to get the action sequences. Very few people have actually sat through a whole Jackie Chan movie, and like, that was great,
Yeah, that's true. Especially his old stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of his old stuff was.
There's some great ones.
It's almost like there is. And
but on the whole, it's fodder for the action.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes the same with Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah.
You watch the Bruce Lee movie, but it's like it's kind of boring because you don't know what's really going on, and the acting's not that great. But you're there for the action.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's watch Bruce Lee, do some kicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Punches, So, yeah, man, that's great. Chris the Geek says hello.
What's up, Chris the Geek?
Chris, what's up? Josh Putney says Pacific Rim would disagree. The action
Josh, I disagree with you. I love Pacific Rim. Guillermo del Toro did nothing wrong in that movie. I'll tell you exactly what this is. That is a popcorn movie, and you're judging it like it should be something Oscar worthy. It's not. When he's dragging the boat behind him and he's about to go smack a kaiju in the face, you're like, there's a part of you deep inside that's just like, hell yeah, brother, and that's all that movie's for.
Yeah.
But Josh, we can agree to disagree. That's okay.
That's it. Miss Martin Muses says hello. What's up?
What's up, Martin? Miss Martin Muses. I'd like reread that. I'm like, nah, Martin's not her.
Yes. That's okay.
I'm sorry, Miss Martin.
So let's before we start talking a little bit about faith. So how is it with faith in the industry? Can you talk about it? Can you not talk about it? What's the big deal? Why is it some actors like the actor you stunt for, Chris Pratt? Why is it that when he does say something, everybody hates him, but yet he's still good and he's up there, and everybody. Yeah. But like, there's like half. I don't know if it's half. Maybe just the ones that yell louder are less people, but they're louder.
Yeah.
You know, but everybody I know, anyways, they love Chris Pratt because he's open about his faith. So what about you? What is your faith, and how do you see the whole faith stuff in that industry?
Well, I'll tackle the first one first. So I grew up Mormon. I grew up in Utah. Okay. So, you know, that was kind of just, 90% chance of that happening.
Right.
I left the Mormon church a couple years ago, along with my wife. And since then, I would categorize my faith as Christian, though non-denominational. You know, I believe that, do unto others as you would have done unto you. You know, love thy neighbor as thyself, and love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, and strength. And I think that, just like Christ says in the scriptures, therein lies the whole of the law. As long as you're a good person, as long as you are loving others, you're looking after others, you care for people, I think that you're on the right track. I don't care, what your affiliation is. I think you're a good person, and I think that you're on the right track. As for faith in the film industry, I think it's hard. I think it's hard to balance having faith in this industry, simply because, well, for a couple of reasons. Partly, I think having extreme views, and nowadays being religious is, to some, is categorized as an extreme view, can close doors for you. So some people are afraid to express their religious beliefs. And I also think that it is a selfish industry. You know, you have to think about yourself a lot. When you're, especially as an actor or, anything like that, your job is to present yourself to the world in such a way that people like you, you know? And I think there's a lot of pressure to conform to this standard, this thing that people hold you up to be. So when Chris Pratt talks about his faith, there's real backlash to that for him.
Yeah.
And like you said, I don't think that most people feel that way, but I do think that the loudest voices on the internet, canceling people on Twitter or, whatever, I think that those are on either ends of the spectrum. Yeah. And I think that most of America, most of the world is much more central, and you just don't hear their voices because they're like, I think,
whatever.
Maybe sometimes, but maybe not sometimes. I don't know. Yeah. I think they're just more moderate.
Right.
They're not trying to, cancel people for their beliefs. They're like, okay, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I think most people are pretty,
pretty reasonable.
Reasonable people, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then, like you said, you got the other half of the spectrum where they're really loud, and you got to do it their way, or
that's both ends of the spectrum. You get far enough on either end, and it's like, you get real unreasonable.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it's sad that life seems to be going that way. I mean,
right?
It's definitely more noticeable now because it's like, it's always in the news, or it's always in the, like the mainstream media. You got one side, and then you got the other side of the conservatives. They're doing everything on the internet, and it's like, I wish they would all just get along. I
see it as a problem of social media, and not for nefarious reasons, but because the algorithm shows you things that it already knows you like, and shows you groups that it already thinks you're going to like. Basically, what happens as you interact with the algorithm, Google, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is, it's going to keep popping up things that are similar to those things until basically you've pigeonholed yourself into this one world review where everybody that you follow or you interact with on the internet holds that same view. So anybody who's outside that worldview just seems like a crackpot to you. You're not exposing yourself to enough information or enough different groups of people to see a bigger picture.
You know what that means? We got to cancel Google.
100%. Actually, you know what? It would be terrible. It would be terrible for convenience, but it might be good for humanity.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember a time when dial-up was the thing, AOL, and you have to really type in what you want to search for, and you have to be like, okay, it's not just certain words. You have to really dig deep on the internet.
And then you have to go 10 pages back. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I remember those days.
Yeah.
I just aged myself, but dial-up, man. The world was simpler back then.
Sure was. I mean, but then you also had different pigeonholes back then. It's like whatever town you grew up in, that was your
that's true.
Your reference to the world, right?
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't be talking to you right now if it was like that.
That's true.
So
yeah.
So I'm kind of glad.
Yeah. So benefits and drawbacks.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I haven't even been paying attention to the time. So I guess right now is a good time to say, let's take a commercial break. And for those of you, I guess I'm still going to play some of these old commercials because I didn't make anything new yet.
What is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Those stickers are pretty rad.
There, I love my computer just went a little crazy. Yeah, we got some stickers, and we have mugs and T-shirts, and what I love to, I guess, share are these beautiful do-rags. I call them do-rags, but they're really called neck gaiters. I usually wear them not like this. I've never worn it like this before. Oh, I got it upside down. Can you believe that?
Nice.
Upside down. How can I advertise upside down? Anyways, for those of you who just saw that, turn your phone the opposite direction and you'll see the picture. But yes, we have all them over there on our website, www.insidetheboothtv.com/shop. Link down in the description below. Go ahead and buy something because Christmas is just around the corner, everybody. You might not want to believe it yet, but it is.
Oh no, you're not wrong.
I know. Also, everybody, don't forget to, obviously you gotta vanquish that like button. There it goes. And subscribe to the channel.
Gotta support the people that do things.
That's right.
People that make things. All. Love it.
That's right. And then one last thing, everybody, don't forget.
Want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding.
And ding, ding that bell so you get notified for more awesome stuff that we do on this channel. Because right now we're here at Inside the Booth. We're going to slow things down. We're not going to post as much as we used to until after the new year. Then we'll get back into a crazy schedule. But right now it needs to be slow. We're slowing down. So yeah, and that's about it. No, we have a Patreon page as well. If you want to support the channel, go to the Patreon page, patreon.com/InsideTheBoothTV, and become a member for just $1 a month. Help us out.
Steal. That's a steal.
It is a steal. Thank you for saying that. And then Chris, do you sell anything? Do you have anything going on?
No, I don't. I was thinking about starting an Instagram channel to motivate me to work out. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm going to post my workouts if you want to follow along.
There you go. And There you go. And his Instagram is down in the description box below, everybody. So is his YouTube that he hasn't posted in a whole year yet. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot I had a YouTube.
Yep. I found it. I found everything about you. Also, I actually found, and I saw this before in the past. I found your parkour as that game. Oh goodness.
Oh, the Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed. Yes,
yeah.
yes. I found that because
yeah.
For some reason, when I was watching your stuff, I saw a little clip of it. I go, you know what? I think I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Because I was into watching parkour back in like 2012, 2000.
It's still cool, dude. It's still cool to watch parkour videos.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's my buddy Devin Graham. And you know, he had Ronnie Chalvis, who's another good friend of mine, doing these Assassin's Creed in real life videos. And Ronnie couldn't do that one. I can't remember the reason. But he recommended me to Devin Graham, and actually that is one of the things that catapulted my own career.
Oh, cool!
So shout out to Devin, shout out to Ronnie. Thank you guys.
Nice, nice. And that video is also in the description box below, just because I thought it would be fun to share everything. The Galaxy Garage. He says he's late, but hello.
What's up, Galaxy Garage? Welcome.
Chris the Geek says he needs to motivate himself to work out again too.
Dude,
well, there you go.
I gotta get not fat again. So
yeah, telling me I gotta get not fat again. Man, even when I was skinny, I was fat. Yep. You know, it's weird how life is. If you don't like. You probably know this. If you don't work out like almost 3 to 4 times a week, you're there. You're flabby.
With kids, man, it's
especially with kids.
Different level with kids.
Yeah.
You know,
I loved your Instagram video. Yeah, I loved that one Instagram video you made of what was it, like a workout video?
Oh, the father figure fitness system.
Yeah, and the dad bod, and then you were throwing your kid against the fence. That was funny.
Oh man, he loved that.
Did he? I'm sure.
I have to say that because I cut early before he starts giggling, so people are like, you know.
I'm sure he did. Kids love jumping off walls all the time.
They sure do.
So, you know, Josh Butney says, "Hey, round is a shape." This is true.
That's true. That's true. I can't be that shape though.
not in your line of work, huh?
I get fired.
You probably would. Now, wait a minute. What about now this is old stuff. And you probably don't know much. Maybe you don't know who it was, but when Chris Farley did stunts, didn't he have a stuntman?
Not that I know of. He was just like Chris Pratt. There's just some really physical actors out there, and that's part of what made Chris Farley so funny. It was his physically. You know, that's part of what makes Chris so funny is his physicality. But also, like, I like to describe Chris Pratt as the most charismatic stuntman you've ever met. He is so good. You know, I will often set the stunts up, but he often does them himself.
Does he really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And he often does them really well, better than I would. I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know,
that's fun.
So,
that's fun.
Yeah,
but we still see you, don't we? In some of those shots. Okay.
Yeah, cool. I mean, you know, there's always scheduling things or just safety things. You know, there's a lot of things that he can't do because if he gets hurt, the whole movie goes down, and there's 100+ people that are out of work for 6 months. So they're like, "Hey, you're expendable. Get in there."
That's got to be fun, though. You know,
it's not a bad gig. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I first got a camcorder when we were little teenagers too. You know, I remember like driving a car 30 miles an hour. Okay, let's jump out. You know, let's film. Let's jump it out. I mean, that's just stupid stuff we did.
Yeah.
You know? Obviously, I am here on YouTube. You are, you know, on the big. You're a big timer now, but you know, I mean,
I wouldn't call that, but
well, you know, You get to hang out with some cool people. Sorry, I'm pouring my carbonated water into my other bottle because the carbonated water bottle looks like alcohol. I don't want people thinking I'm drinking alcohol.
Yeah. Podcast is about to get real loose.
That's right. Hey, everybody. Just drink every time I said that's right. That's right. Cool. All right. So, gosh, my notes are all crazy now because we just been off the cuff.
No problem. You've been
so
moving.
I don't really know. Yeah. Well, here's a good one. What is your all-time favorite movie since you do stunts for movies?
That's a really hard one because I think it's genre specific, right? What's my favorite comedy? What's my favorite sci-fi? Each genre is hard to pin down. But I would say one of my favorite movies of all time, and this kind of tops a lot of lists, is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It's one of the only movies I can watch multiple times a year. Really? Some movies I can only watch once, and I'm like, all right, that was great, and I never watch it again. Secret Life of Walter Mitty, directed by Ben Stiller, and it's fantastic. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It was one of the catalysts that really got me motivated to chase my dream. And it's about Ben Stiller, his character Walter Mitty. This kid. He was a kid. His father died, and it forced him to take on a responsible role in his family too early. He just became too responsible, right? And never ventured outside of what was safe for a long time until he's basically forced to go on this grand adventure. And if you haven't seen it, I'd watch it. The music is incredible. The photography is incredible. But it's also this highly motivating movie of just like, you know what, get out there, go chase down what you want in life. And it's okay, to just chase after what you want. And that was a really life-changing movie for me.
Nice. Yeah, it's let me see real quick. I usually have to see visuals to see if I know the movie or not.
I'm kind of the same way, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've seen that movie. Yep. Okay, yeah. No, that was a good movie.
But then you also have, movies like Terminator 2. It's just a perfect movie.
Of course.
Jurassic Park,
that is
another perfect movie.
Yeah.
2001: A Space Odyssey, which is just technically really well done, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch. The score is beautiful to watch. It's mesmerizing. I mean, all the classics, all the ones you can think of. But I also like some weird ones that I don't think a lot of people jive with. I just barely watched one called Smoking Causes Coughing by the same director that did Rubber, about a sentient tire that kills people. Well, Smoking Causes Coughing I wouldn't even try to describe it to you. You'll be like, that is so weird. And honestly, if you're not into weird movies, don't even look it up. You'll think I'm weird. But it's fun
okay.
Yeah.
We're all weird in our own way,
Yeah.
I mean, so speaking of Jurassic World, I have a picture here. You got to see some of these dinosaurs up close. I
did.
Did you get to kill one? And I'll talk about this picture later. But the dinosaurs, were they nice to you? Did you get to pet them? I mean, what's up with that?
It's actually your dream come true, actually, that I got to work on that one, because there was a big push on especially Jurassic World Dominion to go back to animatronics. So, the big dinosaurs were animatronic, and I got to get up close with them and choreograph action with them. A lot of stuff I didn't do. I didn't do very much stuff other than set up the stunts in that movie and do a lot of the previs action, because Pratt did most of the work in that movie, most of the stunts. Did an incredible job. And then all the motorcycle sequence. We were the first movie back from the pandemic. We were out on the movie. Pandemic hit. we went home for a couple weeks, got flown back out to London, and we just followed every protocol there was to get back into production. And so we were planning to move the production to Malta and do the whole motorcycle sequence, but none of the main cast went out there, basically, because we just kept it 2 separate worlds so that we didn't.
Oh, okay.
They didn't contaminate or whatever.
Right.
And a phenomenal stunt guy named Alistair Whitten went out there, who would be a much better choice in any circumstance to be the motorcycle double for Chris Pratt than I would.
Now,
he did an incredible job. Well, I can ride a motorcycle, but I can't ride a motorcycle like that. I mean, he's phenomenal. And so he went out there with second unit director Dan Bradley, and they shot an incredible sequence, the Raptor chase through Malta. For that movie.
That was a cool sequence.
Yeah,
that was definitely a nice sequence. So which one was that in here?
Yeah, far left, Alistair Whitten. You can see he's actually wearing a helmet shaped like Chris's head.
That's a helmet.
That's a helmet.
Oh,
yes.
That's interesting.
And so it has the dots painted on it so that they can replace his face later.
Right.
And then next to him is Clay Chamberlain. Clay Chamberlain is one of the best people in the world. He is Chris's stand-in and has been with him for, I think, since Jurassic World 1.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. He's such an incredible person. And then obviously Chris, and then myself on the far right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this might have been filmed. This might have been taken the day we were doing the blue screen motorcycle work, where basically it's all the close-ups of Pratt on the big motorcycle rig.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's got to be something, working on a set like that. Just definitely the dinosaurs, that's gotta be cool.
It was such an interesting time because we were in lockdown. If I wasn't at work, I had to be at this hotel, and this hotel used to be like the Duke of Marlborough's chateau or something. It was fancy.
Oh,
it's not something they normally would have put me up in, but because of the circumstances, they're like, fine, you can stay with the cast, whatever. And so I actually had my family out there, and my kids actually got to come to set, and
cool.
And they got to check out all the animatronics and play with the dinosaurs and stuff. So it was actually a really cool experience.
Yeah, that would have been cool for your kids.
It was awesome. Yeah,
that's cool. Very cool. So, and then there you got a few other pictures here. Were you a stuntman in Mad Max?
No, this is another Devin Graham video. Okay. Devin Graham is Devin Supertramp on YouTube. And this was Mad Max in real life in 4K or something. Okay. You can look this up, but it was all these go-karts, and we went out into the desert in Utah.
Oh, that's cool.
And made this video.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Good. I mean, and they're all go-karts. Even that truck in the back.
The truck is the one regular car, but these are all like refurbished like go-karts. The stuff that was going to a junkyard, and they had a couple of gearheads fix them up for us, just enough to get us through a couple days.
Nice. I'm gonna have to watch that. Where's that at? Where can I watch that?
So you can watch a lot of stuff that I was in on Devin's YouTube page, Devin Supertramp, and you might get lost down the rabbit hole because he has some really great videos.
Yeah. Okay. That's the one you did the.
That was I did the Assassin's Creed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I watched some of his recent ones there, the Indiana Jones and Uncharted and all that stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, those are some of my best friends that I actually got into karate with. Braxton and Corbett, and those guys.
Oh, cool, cool. How come you weren't in that one? What's wrong with you?
I don't get the call,
That's cool. So here's an image I was interested about. It wasn't the best quality, but this one right here. What was this? Where is this at?
So again, And a lot of my coolest looking stuff comes from Devin Supertramp videos.
Is
it? We went to France for this one, and the History Channel, I think it was the History Channel, don't quote me on this, they had like a Knights Templar series.
Okay.
And they paid Devin to basically go do this like YouTube video crossover of it. And so we went to France, we stayed in a castle and
cool.
and filmed there for a couple days. And that was a really cool experience. We had this French stunt team that does live shows, and their horses are incredibly well trained. So they're fighting each other on horseback with these steel swords, and they'll like take falls and stuff. They were hardcore. So it was a really cool video to get to make.
Oh, that is cool. Nice.
I'll also never forget, like when we first showed up to the castle, this is my introduction to France. We get to the castle. It's been a long day of travel. And the first thing the castle owner does is greet us with some baguettes. And so we each get a baguette, and we're just taking the tour around the castle, eating our baguettes. I'm like, this is equivalent to like showing up in America and someone hands you like a 6-shooter. Here, welcome to the saloon. You know, I don't know. Right. That's what it felt like.
That's fun. That's fun. Let's see here. My mom says hello. What's up, Mom?
What's up to your mom?
Levis says this is an old comment. Never mind. She likes The Fifth Element. I don't know what we were talking about. That Fifth Element came up.
Fifth Element is a good movie, though.
It is. Very good movie. I like Bruce Willis. He was one of my favorite actors, you know, growing up. And then obviously Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, you know, I mean, all those guys. I wasn't, you know, I know a lot of people liked Schwarzenegger. I never really liked him that much, you know. I thought his...
Have you seen his documentary on Netflix, Arnold?
I did not. No.
You should. It's a really good documentary.
Okay. I still got Netflix. I haven't turned it off yet. I'm thinking about doing it, but you know.
Yeah.
But sure, yeah. I'll watch that. Cool. Too bad it wasn't called Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold. No, but you know, I liked Arnold Schwarzenegger in like the Terminator movies, you know, but his other movies didn't really vibe with me, I guess.
What about True Lies, man? True Lies is classic.
Yeah, that's true.
Commando, come on.
Commando, yeah.
Not Alien, Predator. Come on.
That's a good one. You're right. Yeah. You're right. That's good. That's good. But I think that's good because of the Predator. You know, not the.
It's just John McTiernan was really good at just making movies. Die Hard, Predator. Yeah, he knew how to do it.
That's it. Die Hard movies are good.
Die Hard movies are good.
Well. Yeah. Which is your favorite Die Hard movie?
Obviously, the first one.
The first one?
Yeah, I don't know that there's a debate on that. Is there?
I don't know, but for me, it's a toss up between the first and the third.
Which one is the third one?
The one where the brother from the first one comes back to kill him, I guess.
I'm gonna have to watch that one again.
Gosh, I can't remember his name. But it's the guy who talks for Scar.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. But I don't know. For some reason, I thought that one was really good too. But the second one, you're right. I didn't like the second one that much.
Not very many second movies are good.
Yeah, that's for sure. But you also got to obviously be a stunt for Chris Pratt in the Galaxies movie, right? Or the third one, anyway.
Yeah, just the third one.
And obviously this one's Endgame.
Infinity War, Endgame. That's probably Infinity War. I mean, they bled into each other. It was like a year and a half of making those movies. So.
Right. Oh, very cool. Very cool. So what was it cool wearing the costume? So you're basically like a cosplayer, you know. You get to wear the costumes and
It's true. And actually that costume, I've worn several of the the Avengers costumes, and the Star-Lord costume is absolutely the best. The pants are stretchy, the boots are comfortable. It's just like a t-shirt and jacket combo. It is so comfortable. but also really makes you feel quite cool as you're wearing it.
Oh, cool. Now, did you get to wear the mask too?
Yes.
Did they have a physical mask?
Yeah, so they gave Chris a mask that had a vent and a fan in it so he could actually get air.
Okay.
Mine did not. So basically they'd clamp it on and then they screw it into like these little plates. And the eye holes were like this big and they were like half an inch out from my face, but also they would fog up and then there was lights that would go on in them. And so you couldn't see anything and then you couldn't breathe. And they're like, all right, now do this complicated action sequence. And I'm and it was really hard to do, but I was doing it for probably 6 months before one of the legacy effects guys. These are the guys that make all these really fancy props. They make Mjolnir, they make Stormbreaker, they make all the pieces, right?
Yeah.
Very incredible artists. They make the Star-Lord mask, and as he's putting it on my head, and he's like, "Hey, do you want us to just, we could just cut out your face so then you can see and breathe? Would you like to do that?" I mean, I was like, "Is that an option?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do that." And mind you, this probably cost $60,000 per shot to replace that with a digital double, but that's the kind of money they were spending on that one, and it didn't seem to bother them. So I was like, "Yes, please, let me breathe and see."
That's very cool.
I had broken two of the helmets actually up to that point, and I think that's what they were really worried about. They weren't worried about me. There's a couple of times where it's like, I had to do a stunt or something, and I'm just like face planting because I can't see.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's cool though. That's good that they were able to just. Do they put dots on your face when they cut it out? Or? Yeah. So,
but actually, that's one of the benefits to. I'm told by a lot of people that Pratt and I look a lot alike, and so there's a lot of stuff where I'm watching it or my wife is watching it, and we can tell it's like, oh, they didn't even bother face replacing me at that point,
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think a lot of studios like it, like me being his double for that reason. It's like,
probably.
Yes.
Yeah, you kind of look like
just him. Slightly cheaper. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Slightly cheaper, Chris Pratt.
Well, I'm a lot cheaper than him, but slightly cheaper than another double if they have to replace his face.
Oh, right.
I wish I was only slightly cheaper than Chris Pratt, but man deserves it. He's incredible.
Yeah. He sounds like it. So I mean, I can't wait for you to start making your own movies.
Well, I might be bad at it at first, but
we'll see. That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'll be good at it eventually.
You got some friends. You got friends. I'll still watch it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Back to Die Hard. My brother says it was Jeremy Irons. Yes, thank you for the name. And he says Die Hard 3 was the best.
All right. I think the only time I've watched that one was like back in the day on a tube television. With commercials and all that. So I don't think
you watched it on
TV. Fair shake.
That's right. Well, you're gonna have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Revisit that movie.
All right.
Well, we do that a lot here in Inside the Booth. We review a lot of old nostalgic movies from the early 90s. So
it's a good era.
It was. We even do some of the 80s movies, it depends on the movie in the 80s, but I've been getting into watching a lot of westerns. Western movies are really cool.
Like 90s westerns?
No, like 60s, 50s and 60s westerns.
Yeah.
Like Clint Eastwood when he was really young,
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, man, that's cool. And I did watch I don't know if you've heard of this. It's called Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah.
And, the movie's slow, but the cinematography is like phenomenal. That Italian guy, I forgot his name.
Sergio Leone.
Sergio Leone.
Yeah.
Directed it. And
incredible.
It's like, he's got some, he's talented.
Yeah.
What would be cool is if you get like an old talented movie maker from back in the day. Wish we could reincarnate them or something for today and say, how would you make a movie now? You know, because with all the digital stuff, you know, I wonder if they would utilize the digital, or if they would say, forget about the digital. I want to stick with the old way of doing it.
You know, I think that the real issue is I think that they should use the digital if they were smart and they were educated in it. But I think that they would use it differently than filmmakers today use it. Right?
Yes.
They would use it the way it's supposed to be used, which is supplemental. If you look at Jon Favreau, his movies, you know, the CGI rarely sucks in those because the CGI is always supplemental. It's always in addition to. Right. Instead of, I've been on a lot of sets, you know, where it's basically like, okay, you know, over there's going to be a big old CG such and such, and you're going to go, wow, it's a big such and such, right? And it lacks depth, it lacks feeling because the actors are acting against nothing. It's you know, they just barely got onto set and they're like, all right, and this is what you're going to do, bud, and go for it. And you know, maybe they get 2 takes at it, and the director's like, all right, great, we got it. Or maybe they're there all day, but either way. Jon Favreau, you know, if there's something that CG, he wants as close a replication of it in real life as possible, right? So that lights play off it right, so that lights play off the actor right, so that their eye line is right, so that you know, maybe if they're supposed to be afraid of it, that maybe there's something that actually, you know, feels scary about it, which is also something Jurassic World Dominion tried to replicate. You know, it definitely gave you a better feeling of danger. Yeah. So I think it all should be supplemental is what I'm trying to say. These directors of the past would do an incredible job with these tools.
That's right. I think they would too.
Whereas you got a lot of lazy filmmakers now. We're like, yeah, you know what's cool? An explosion, but we don't have money for an explosion. So CGI explosion goes here, here, here. And yeah, it's cool.
And you just jump.
It's gonna be cool. Don't worry about it.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what your character would do. This is what I'm telling you to do. Okay, go do it.
That's funny. Well, since we're talking about the whole explosion thing, what about this? What was that like?
This is one of my favorite experiences ever. This is one of my favorite days ever as a stuntman. We were in Iceland on top of a glacier. It took an hour to get up there and an hour to get down on these big snow vans. And in the same day, I'd never driven a snowmobile before. So I got my first lesson in a snowmobile. And they're like, all right, so you're going to jump this off this jump. And luckily I had to ditch it, so I didn't have to land back on it. And so I was like, sweet, let's do that. So I did that a couple times. That was already a good day. And then they set up this platform for me to run off and dive away from this big wall of explosion. Yeah. I'm like, man, this is the most stuntman day I've ever had in my life.
That's cool.
So that was a really good day.
Nice. So what movie was that? A movie? Was it a
movie called Tomorrow War?
Okay, Tomorrow
War. Directed by Chris McKay, who also just recently did Reinfeld, which is also a really great movie. You should go check that one out too.
All right, I will. Tomorrow War. Now that it does sound like a good movie. Plus the little clips, the snippets that I have, I was like, man, what's this from? I want to watch it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a fun one.
Cool. Yeah, it looks fun. Write that down. Tomorrow War.
And the talking about the CG in that one, the CG creatures in that are incredible. Kudos to the team on that one. It's they really made the movie pop. You'll see the creatures; they're really cool.
Oh, cool, nice. Yeah, cool. No, we're coming to the end of an hour, so I guess we can wrap it up. I guess one last question. What would you say to somebody who wants to become a stuntman and wants to pursue that? What kind of advice or inspiration would you give them?
It's kind of the same advice I give to anybody who wants to do anything. Just do it. You got to do it. Do it at whatever level you can start at. You know, I started in Utah. I had no contacts. I didn't know anybody. in the film industry. I started doing stunts for people's student projects for no money. Doing it at first for just me and my friends on a high 8 camcorder, and just consistency. And, as if you really want to do something, every time a decision comes up and there's 2 roads, pick the one that leads you closer to where you want to be. And eventually you'll get there. If I had to do it all over again, I would have moved to a major film hub earlier. I stayed in Utah for too long. Not that it was a bad move, but I could have enjoyed a little bit more success earlier on.
Right.
So be where the action is also my takeaway. LA, if you're in Canada, Toronto, Georgia is another great place. If you want to learn and you want to get paid to learn how to do stunts, go to one of the theme parks. They have stunt shows. You can audition for these.
Oh, that's cool.
And they'll pay you. And you basically are surrounded with like-minded people, and they're all trying to make it. They'll go out on weekends and shoot their own fight scenes, and they're all learning together. And they're all sharing knowledge. And a lot of those guys end up, on these big sets and end up running these big sets. It's an incredible way to do it. So that'd be my advice.
Sweet. Well, thanks for that advice. Yeah, so that's about it. That's what we got for tonight, guys. I could probably ask you questions. I would love to have you back on to just talk more. This is very fun.
Well, I love talking about movies, so yeah, I'll invite accepted if that's an invite.
Okay, yeah, very cool. Yeah, no, we could even do a movie review together.
Love
That'd
it.
be sweet. So yeah. So now I don't know what to say. Cool. I like it. Thank you. So I guess that's it, everybody. This is gonna be it for tonight. I'll just play. Which video should I play? I'll play the funny one. Thanks, everybody. Wait.
Spectacular stunt, my friends, but all for naught. Turn around, please. Ah, what a pity. What a pity. So, Princess, you thought you could outwit the imperious forces? You idiots! These are not them. You've captured their stunt doubles!